in such a rush that they wouldn't even recover the bodies. Don was there for that.
Right. Yeah, we did pull the. In fact, we had located one of the female victims that we had to leave inside the building on the night of the 4th, and the building was pretty unstable in that area. But rather than trying to shore anything up, we were removed. The building was brought down, and we were allowed to go back in the 29th of May and research the area, and did locate that lady along with one of her female companion workers and another gentleman that had died in the blast.
Wow, I know this is hard to talk about. A lot of key questions we haven't gotten to yet here. Don Browning, retired Oklahoma City police officer, canine rescue handler, was there right after one of the first people there on the scene, former U.S. Marine, Vietnam veteran as well. Could you tell us, you've told us about the marshals threatening the police. What about FBI threatening you specifically?
Within the weeks that followed after the actual occurrence, FBI agents were assigned to set up a communication station at the Oklahoma City Police Canine and Equine Center. And they were in and out of our office through the day. Of course, we were supposed to just conduct business as normal, and they were still concluding their investigations. But was told more than once or twice by agents in the area that people like my wife and I would have ended up dead by not going along with what we knew to be true.
Wow, so you're a decorated Vietnam veteran, police officer, one of the heroes that responded when there could have been other bombs and was thought there were other bombs, and the FBI agents in the police office are telling you, do what you're told or you and your wife are dead. And you're saying this on record here, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please elaborate for the millions of listeners exactly what happened. And if you'd like to name names, I'm not afraid of these people.
As far as names, I really don't know. I do know there was an agent, Jim Height, that had contacted me that was concerned about the health of the dogs right about the same time. His story was that the building had been sprayed with an agent similar to Agent Orange to try to slow decomposition, and that there was supposedly complaints that the odor of the decomp was becoming an issue to the surrounding area and the community. Again, there were just different things that occurred that just absolutely defied my understanding why they would use something such as Agent Orange without warning us of what they were doing.
But I mean, separately, how did they phone call you? I mean, did an agent in the hall say, "Hey, you better do what we were told, or you and your wife are dead"? I mean, how would they talk to you?
No, it was person to person in the hallway. They were in the office there at the Canine Center.
So they'd say, "Do what you're told, or you and your wife are dead."
Right.
And what did you say to that?
It wasn't too much. I'd say I kind of yell right, and I was not. At that time, was really not in a good mood to hear their crap. I had a major from our department that was telling me that I needed to find new friends, and he thought I was part of the militia.
Okay, so they're intimidating you, they're isolating you, and then they're threatening you and your wife in a hallway. I mean, it's so unbelievable. You probably had one of the perpetrators right there with you. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things about this. When you see the behavior of the federal agents on the scene and afterwards, it makes you question what their mission is entirely, because they were not responding in a professional manner. They pulled people back to pull off the videotapes. Don, you witnessed that.
Yes, I watched while we were being sequestered there in the courtyard. I did watch agents with FBI raid jackets on, removing video cameras from the corners of the Murrah building.
Tapes that we've never seen. Those cameras would have recorded everything that happened in front of the Murrah building. You know, if we are wrong and they want to prove it, you know, if you can show the tape that shows McVeigh getting out of that truck and that truck causing the damage to that building, I'll go home and I'll never talk to you.
Well, they've declared national security. Some good FBI agents have gone public, as you know, in the LA Times 9 years ago, and they said they've seen the tapes. There's 20-something of them, And it does show McVeigh with a bunch of other men, and that's why the government doesn't want it released.
Exactly, and the Secret Service timeline records that when they looked at the tape, that there were suspects exiting the truck 3 minutes after it was parked. Plural. That means multiple suspects. But to this day, they insist McVeigh was the only person who drove that truck up. Don Browning mentioned Dana Bradley earlier. During the trial of McVeigh in Denver, they could only produce one witness who could place McVeigh in Oklahoma City. That was Dana Bradley. She lost her children and her mother and her leg in the bombing. She gained some notoriety because she was trapped in the rubble and they had to amputate on site. Under cross-examination, she admitted that when she was in the Social Security office waiting in line, she saw that Ryder truck pull up. Tim McVeigh got out of one side, and a suspect, another man, got out of the other side. Under cross-examination, admitted this. And then the federal prosecutors tried to drag her name through the mud and say that she had misremembered the day, that it was another day that she had lost her entire family and her leg, that she saw that Ryder truck pull up with two people. It's just ludicrous and insulting.
Unbelievable. We have Holland Vanden Nieuwhof, investigator, filmmaker, and Don Browning, Oklahoma City police officer, U.S. Marine Vietnam veteran, was one of the first to be there. We'll talk about Terrence Yankee and his murder, another police officer that responded on the other side. Folks, I don't like risking my life to expose these people, but we've got to. They're getting ready to do it again. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your own family. Now, this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years. The crazy part is, he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. Recently, he created a video, which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica, the number 3.com. Watch the free video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com. Hi, this is Alex Jones. This holiday season, more than half of our nation is in need of help due to the shattered economy. So now is the time to express the holiday spirit more than ever. Consider helping those you love with the most important gift, a supply of delicious, easy-to-fix, and very storable foods from eFoodsDirect.com. Their holiday gift and family packs start at $99 for a 16-day supply. While their 5-week supply of quick and easy-to-fix meals includes a personal backpack in case of a grab-and-go emergency. Order their combo gift pack, and you'll save hundreds, plus get free shipping on your entire order. Call eFoods today at 800-409-5633 or visit them online at eFoodsDirect.com/Alex to find the special. That's 800-409-5633 or eFoodsDirect.com/Alex. You can bet your life on eFoods Direct.
You may be arrested and/or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship, body scanners, sound cameras, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Defending the Republic from enemies, foreign and domestic. It's Alex Jones.
Oklahoma City's real simple. The ATF even got a Ryder truck and practiced blowing it up a few months before in New Mexico. That even came out on Discovery Channel. They were embarrassed that they wanted to get anti-terror funding and laws passed that they've now gotten through, of course, in '93. So they torched Waco. That blew up in their face. And so then they carried out Oklahoma City to blame it on domestic groups and on the states' rights movement, and to make Bill Clinton look like a victim. He could demonize talk radio and conservatives. And I mean, it was so obvious by their instant response in minutes. It was all scripted. And I remember being in Austin, and people were mailing the tapes down and putting them on Access TV. That's why I went down and got an Access TV show in '95, was watching the soap opera every week of the tapes mailed down to patriots from Oklahoma City and the other patriots locally putting it on, with the bombs coming out of the building and General Parton at press conferences and Hoppy Heidelberg being threatened and, you know, all this stuff going on. And then you find out that so many of these other events have been staged, and then to have these police officers killed and threatened, and Department of Defense people that were there for bomb disposal threatened. We know where your daughter lives, where your daughter goes to school. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you can say, oh, well, I would, you know, punch him in the nose or whatever. But imagine being in a police headquarters and FBI guys come over when you're walking down the hall and say, you and your wife are going to get it if you don't stop what you're doing. I mean, wow. I mean, why would an FBI agent do that unless they were involved? I mean, you're now threatening to kill cops and their wives. That's who runs this government. And the same crew is in charge now. The guy that's the Attorney General, he was Deputy Attorney General then, and in lawsuits, his emails and memos have come out where he's like, April 20th, we got to get to Oklahoma, and this is D-Day. These are quotes, and cover this up. Cover what up? Cover what up?
Happened in Oklahoma City. Eric Holder was in charge of the investigation for the Justice Department. He managed the investigation, later in charge of the Trenton Duke cover-up, now Attorney General of the United States, and now he has Gunwalker all over him. This man has killed thousands of people. That's in the headlines now. Why is it so hard to believe that an operation in 1995 killed 168 people?
Yes, sir. That's a good point, Mr. Browning. Again, retired Oklahoma City police officer, was one of the first to respond. I mean, that's a false flag staged event right there, where they weren't just letting them get sold at gun shops. That was the cover. We now know 18-wheelers into Mexico, and in the federal cases, drugs back in. I mean, Eric Holder is just a mob boss.
Well, you were talking about, you had Hoppy Heidelberg on the show earlier this week. You were talking about the threats he received. What's interesting about that is that the FBI agent who threatened Hoppy Heidelberg is named John Hursley. John Hursley was basically the FBI's representative to the prosecution during the trial. John Hursley was there with his partner threatening Hoppy Heidelberg with a gun if he kept on talking about what had happened behind closed doors at the grand jury that indicted McVeigh and Nichols and others unknown. John Hursley is now the go-to guy for the History Channel and whoever else wants to do an apology for the official story. John Hursley is there in a suit and tie with the American flag behind him, representing the United States government. That man is a thug. He threatens people with guns, and he's on TV trying to explain the official story. In fact, he wrote a book, Ghost wrote a book about the bombing, about the official story, and the title is called Simple Truths. Simple Truths, which is always what the noble lie is cloaked in, a simple truth.
Don, what were you looking into that made FBI agents threaten not only you, but to kill your wife?
I was trying to follow up. I had a lot of citizens that was calling, giving information. We're trying to follow through with different tidbits of information I was getting, even from persons such as Janie Carverdale and Glenn and Wilbur and his wife. I felt obligated as a police officer that we should be looking into all those things, and they were pretty frustrated that for the most part they were being ignored or being told it didn't matter. It was similar to like Dana Bradley, we mentioned earlier. I was called into the U.S. Attorney's Office and was questioned as to what she said to me the entire time that I was near her. I wanted to know every if and but every I, every T. She was groaning. She was in pain. There was no noticeable conversation that came from her. But
They wanted to know what she'd seen and what she'd told you.
Exactly. And
It's a woman pinned under giant girders who lost her leg, and they're wanting to know, what did she say? What did she